Hey, so Gina, I was thinking of a way that we could kind of like jazz up our cold open a little bit.
Yeah, I like jazz.
And so I got to thinking about like on TV, they would do a countdown before the show went live, you know, like 5, 4, like, you know, like a countdown. So before I push the record button, I could do that. I could say, all right, okay, the podcast is going live in 5, 4.
Where's 3, 2, 1?
Oh, no. You don't say the 3, 2, 1. I was just mouthing it and then I was pointing.
Oh, you're a little mouthy, that's for sure. Yes.
No, it'd be like 5, 4.
Okay.
And then I point.
Okay, I get that, but I thought it went like this: 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to The Riveted with Chris and Gina.
Oh, you're being sneaky.
1. Gina, we have some new friends on with us tonight.
We do. I'm very excited to introduce them to everyone.
And we always like these evening podcasts.
Yes.
I always say that every time.
Every time.
It seems to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more casual.
Yeah, I like it.
It's great. We've had the fortunate experience to get connected with these folks recently on some other work, and glad to have them on the podcast. We're excited to hear all about their Airstream life because they are like big time in the Airstream community.
Yes, they are.
And
they are going to take us out of this world tonight.
What is that all about? No, we're excited. So we've not met these folks in person yet, but you know, through the power of technology, we've chatted a good bit, and just glad to have them on the podcast. All the way from Huntsville, Alabama, Claire and Dave Purinton, welcome to The Riveted with Chris and Gina.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, good to be here.
We are so happy to have you on tonight.
I might need to go back and do an inventory of our guests, but I think these might be the first people from Alabama, Gina.
Oh, really?
I think maybe.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I think y'all might be the first.
I'll have to go see.
Is it Alabama? What's the term? Alabamians? No.
Alabamian.
Alabamian?
Yeah, neither one of us are natives to here. We're both in the Northeast. So we're sort of transplants to Huntsville.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
well,
that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that we've interviewed anybody from Alabama yet.
No, but we are tonight.
That's awesome. Great. Well, glad to have you. We always love to chat with folks that we know are passionate Airstreamers, but we've never met yet, because that lets us, never met in person yet, rather, because that lets the conversation be really cool, because we get to hear all about things that we just absolutely have no knowledge of. So
we're always learning something.
Yeah, but and Claire, I'll let you and Dave kind of explain to our listeners a little bit how you are kind of involved in the Airstream world. But you know, we always like to kind of just start off by asking people what their origin story was, or their entry point into having an Airstream in your life.
Yeah.
So just tell us about that and go from there.
I know myself growing up, we always like tent camped and hiked and things like that. And then when Claire and I got married, we just kind of continued that on. We backpacked a lot, the whole, go set up your tent, filter water, cook over the propane stove type of thing. And then we've hiked some of the AT through the Smoky Mountains. And then one year, we were actually hiking with our new puppy and woke up one morning and found a tick in the tent. Didn't really think anything of it. And then literally within days, Claire started noticing like swelling in her joints and a lot of things. And I kind of, being the engineer that I am, I jumped online, did a bunch of research, and thought, honey, I think you might have Lyme disease. So she went to the doctor. The doctor did some tests. No, you don't have Lyme. You didn't get the rash, this, that, and the other thing. Well, couldn't find out she did. That was a whole long story. After that, Claire kind of said, I'm never sleeping on the ground again, which I totally understood.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of when we started looking at kind of campers, and we sort of migrated to just that classic Airstream design. And we bought our first one in 2020. Yeah, bought a base camp 16X, started there, and
nice.
Now we're on Airstream number 3, which is a 25-foot flying cloud. And,
wow.
Kind of never looked back.
That's
Wow. So you just jumped right into Airstreaming. You didn't look at any other campers, or maybe you did and still went with Airstream?
We looked at a lot of teardrops and stuff, but the more research we kind of did, there was just a lot of like issues that kind of concerned us and everything. And then we're both, I think Claire and I at our heart are kind of like really drawn to those classic things. We live in like 100-year-old craftsman bungalow in the historic district here in Huntsville.
Oh, wow.
Which was kind of our dream to do. So I think just that iconic Airstream look kind of drew us in. And
I understand that.
We've had a good number of guests say that they got tired of sleeping on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess I wouldn't say that's an overwhelming theme, but we've had a lot of people say that.
Well, I wouldn't want to sleep on the ground.
No, I know, but like for Gina and I, we dabbled a little bit with regular tent camping and stuff. But
yes, but we took a blow up mattress.
Well,
I wasn't sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
No.
So that, but yeah.
But to be fair, we had blow up mattresses, but you just had to blow it up by mouth. So
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, we were pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. Well, that's.
I mean, kudos to y'all. I really like that you can do that. But I wouldn't be able to get up the next day. Like my back would just be like, nope, you're not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Claire, you specifically are very entrenched in a lot of Facebook groups are surrounded by Airstream, and you've volunteered and been involved, right? You've got a lot going on in the Airstream community.
Yeah, I mean, mercifully, right now, I'm an admin in the Rivet Collective because Vinny, I work for Vinny's, and I do the marketing for Vinny's and molecular applied coatings, and Vinny is starting the Rivet Co-op, and so the Facebook group that is associated with that, I started that and I admin that. For a period of time, I was an admin in Airstream Addicts. I stepped in while their founder was walking alongside her husband, who was battling some cancer, but that was for a season. And so right now, just turning my attention towards the Rivet Collective and what's going on there.
Mm-hmm. And do y'all have a local club that you're a member of, or?
We do. So we're a member of the, I think it's just the Alabama Club. Ironically, just kind of recently here, they sent out an email saying, hey, we need somebody to possibly take over the second VP slot because the person that was doing it had to step down. So I just kind of emailed the president and asking a few questions, and lo and behold, I sort of like got approved as the second VP. So
you were voluntold.
I'm now active in our local club as well.
Yeah. I think it could be that anybody that has warm blood and shows the interest, they get voluntold or elected.
Voluntold.
Yes. I like that.
That's cool.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's cool.
All right, so we kind of skimmed over this, but we need to know some more deep dive details as to why the 3 Airstreams. So, like, give us the backstory on the, I mean, obviously Base Camp's a very cool, unique rig, and if you go from sleeping on the ground to that, it's like the Taj Mahal. So, what's...
Yeah, and that was kind of Claire. So we went to the dealer, and we were actually looking at Bambis and everything, and then kind of Claire spies this Base Camp across the lot and asked the dealer that we were working with, hey, what is that over there? And he said, oh, that's a Base Camp. So we went over there and looked at that, and Claire loved it. It was a neat, where we're kind of, places that we Airstream typically are like state parks. And at the time I was doing a bunch of mountain bike racing. So it was easy to kind of get the Base Camp into some of these small state parks and everything. And we loved it. And then we realized that after the whole COVID thing, I was able to still work remotely, and most everything that Claire does, she can work remotely as well. The Base Camp with you either had the bed or you had the tables, and we're decided that, well, if we can work from the road, let's look at something that actually has a dedicated bed space and a dedicated table space. So that's when we moved up in 2022 to the 22-foot Caravel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh yeah, that was around the time that Caravel came back out, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's
and we we loved that rig.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we probably would have kept the Caravel long term. My only thing was, once we became grandparents, it is like that single axle rig just gives me enough pause. Like if you're going to have a blowout and you have the blowout on the side of the road and it's just Dave and I, well, we'll navigate that. But now that we travel with our grandson, who's 2.5, I don't want to do that with a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And so it became important to me to have a tandem axle trailer at that point.
Sure.
Right. That makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So base camp to 22 Caravelle, and then now a 25-foot Flying Cloud.
Yep.
Yeah.
And are you guys in? We do a audit of this with everybody, but are you guys in the queen bed or twin bed camp?
Oh, I can't believe you're bringing this up.
It was a hard sell for me. Claire was like twin bed from day one.
Oh.
I was like, honey, I was like, really? It's like, are you trying to tell me something after we've been married, for, almost 40 years? And she said, no, it's all about the space thing. It's all about how it just looks like it's bigger on the inside. And she eventually, sold me that, okay, this is the way to go. So we went with the twin.
All right, no problem.
So, Dave, we're going to break you in right now.
Yeah.
So we call that temporary stackers.
Yeah. If you're in the twin bed camp, you temporarily stack.
And we're talking sexy time.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Gotcha.
When we started this audit, I asked a guest how they handle that, and they gave the term that they temporarily stack, and we're like, okay, stack. I got you.
Yeah.
But
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And now it's like this whole running joke that we have.
Yeah.
That
well,
we've had people come into our podcast studio, and as soon as they sit down and we get the mics hot and everything, and we're going there going, well, we're temporary stackers. Yeah. They just tell us right off the bat.
Well, and I will say, it is obvious anytime you walk into an Airstream with twin beds that floor plan is more advantageous for space and storage and everything about it. And we even know people that make the twin beds up as like little couches and day beds during the day, and they use that space as like almost a second little living room. And I mean, there's all kinds of benefits to it, but I mean, I love to spoon with my wife.
Okay, so you guys are not temporary stackers.
No, we are queen bed owners, and
yes, but we are full time too. So I couldn't sleep in a separate bed from you every night.
Yeah,
no, that would be.
Yeah, I think if we were full timers, you would have a harder sell.
And we're both. I mean, we're not small people. So you put both of us in one of those little twin beds. Nope, that ain't gonna happen.
They do say that part of the sales pitch on that is that each individual human being has a larger amount of sleeping space on twins. They say, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, our salesman, he tried to sell us on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he tried to sell us on the gas oven. And I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Well, we're not picking on anybody with twins versus queens.
We just want to know.
We're just doing an audit of every guest. And so far, I think, Gina says that we are like close to 50-50, but I feel like we're more twins than we are queens.
I think we're definitely more twins, but I think we're very close to that right now anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That half and half.
I mean, on those kind of lengths, 25 and especially like those 23s, when you do twins in those lengths, it definitely makes them feel
absolutely
bigger. No question.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what year's your Flying Cloud?
We bought it new in 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So fairly new.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was a big decision for us. Like I went back and forth on that one big time because, it's an investment. And I was asking Vinny his opinion on it left and right. And he just kept coming back to, I would just prefer to see you in a tandem axle. It's just safer. And Dave swears that they're easier to back up.
I would feel
yeah.
I think it just pulls it tows easier, it tows nicer. That being said, the 22-foot was great, and we spent almost 8 weeks in the Caravelle together with our previous dog for
it was great.
No, I agree. I would say that, and I've towed a lot of trailers over the years, boats and campers and everything, and tandem axle's definitely back easier than a single.
I agree with that.
So what's your trips of, like, if you just had it 5 days and you were like, are you go to the beach, you go to the mountains, what do you do? Like, what's your plan for a 5-day, let's get out of Dodge and Airstream?
I mean, I would say we're going to the mountains.
Oh yeah, we're going to the mountains.
Yeah.
We're going to the mountains, and that's an act of love on my part because Dave is not a fan of sand. Our first,
only because it gets everywhere, and you can. It's like glitter; you can't get rid of it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
now, Dave, how much glitter have you actually been playing with?
Had to deal with.
Well, I had a daughter that danced for.
Oh yeah,
That's a good answer, Dave.
14 years.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, I've been around a lot of
A
glitter.
lot of glitter. Yes.
so one of my favorite stories is that I was asked to be on the dance board for our daughter's dance team, and I was like, heck no, I don't want to do that. But I volunteered David.
She fed me to the wolves.
wow,
I like that.
that is
He's
funny.
such a good dad.
We
I remember the glitter and the rhinestones.
yeah, we had
Yes.
a daughter that did dance. Gina did dance.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, but when I danced, it wasn't this competition stuff that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so I kind of asked the question about beach or mountains, and then what popped into my head just now is, I mean, Huntsville's obviously, I guess, closer to the mountains than the Gulf Coast or whatever. But I also just thought Huntsville, that's near the NASA place that's got the mobile quarantine facility.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the Space and Rocket Center here in Huntsville.
Yeah.
So I mean, Huntsville, known as the Rocket City, it's kind of our nickname because Marshall Space Flight Center is here. A lot of after World War II, a lot of the Germans were brought here to work on the Army missile systems, and then eventually those guys obviously worked on the NASA rockets that led to the Apollo moon landing and all that stuff. So we still kind of have a kind of a German contingent here. I am actually one of the proverbial rocket scientists. I'm a contractor, but I support NASA. So I'm actually currently working on the Artemis rocket, which is a space launch system. So the recent successful launch we had, I worked on that, worked on a lot of the wind tunnel testing that went into that rocket, and a bunch of the databases that predicted performance for the rocket and everything. So yeah, it's kind of neat to live here in Huntsville and kind of have really kind of your pulse on that.
Okay.
That program.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start.
All right, so we need to do a quick timeout. Okay, so I just thought maybe it might be cool to go see the mobile quarantine facility that Airstream built. I didn't realize we were talking to a rocket
A
scientist.
rocket scientist. Claire, you are married to a rocket scientist.
That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I know. The hard part is, like, if you ask, like, how was your day? What did you do? And then he starts to tell you, and it's like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like, that blows my mind.
Wow.
Wow.
I need you to dumb that way down for me because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's pretty
Yes.
awesome.
The
Well,
bonus now, though, is because it's NASA, I can kind of tell you what I'm working on. When I was on the DoD side, with
It was all
clearances,
classified.
I couldn't really tell you a lot of
Oh,
things.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome to hear, and I can only.
I feel like we need to straighten up and
I think
do something a little different now, Chris.
I feel like I need to redo my introduction.
I mean, I'm like talking to him if he's a temporary stacker and he's
a
rocket scientist.
He just helps astronauts get back to Earth. We're asking him. Well, that's pretty awesome. So, it's been a month or two ago now, I guess, but Rich Lure, the editor of Airstream Life magazine and the airgear.store guy, we had him on the podcast, and my introduction for him was because he's just so knowledgeable about the Airstream, brand and trailers, and he educates people, and he's just such a whiz on all that kind of stuff. My introduction to him was that if our podcast was about rockets, we'd have a rocket scientist on as a guest. Because I was trying to do an analogy that Rich Lure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, Gina, we have a legit rocket scientist on our
Yes,
podcast.
we do.
That's awesome.
You should have done that intro here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could only imagine then that Airstream part of the whole Airstream mystique with you too is just the history that Airstream has had with NASA all these years.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, to have, an iconic brand like that, so kind of entrenched in the NASA history, with the Apollo program and everything. And they're actually still using, Airstream van. Well, they were even using Airstream vans to take the astronauts out for the shuttle program and everything. So there's definitely a deep history there between NASA and Airstream.
And did I see, I mean, was it a real picture or like some sort of AI picture, but did they use a Airstream Atlas for this most recent Artemis deal? Did Airstream build an Atlas that was partnered with NASA?
I believe that's true. Yes.
I think Jay Cullis told us that they had done that.
Yeah. I saw a picture of an Atlas van, and it was all logoed up and everything. And I assumed it was real. I mean,
nowadays you can't hardly tell, can you?
know.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
So you guys have been up to the Heritage Center up in Ohio, right?
Have not.
Oh, you haven't?
Oh, wow.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That'll be a couple days in there for you guys, because I'm sure that you'll want to read and watch the videos and stuff that are in there. But it's pretty amazing what all that Airstream talks about in there. And with NASA, they have a whole video on that.
They have a one video
movie.
section on the Apollo guys coming back and going into the mobile quarantine unit, and the vans that they built for transporting them and so forth.
Yeah, they actually, and I don't know if it's still there now or not, but when we were there for the grand opening of it, and they actually had the back end of that quarantine unit where the guys, the astronauts, hung out the back and like waved to everybody and stuff from it.
It's
so they had that.
The famous picture of them looking out the window and Nixon looking in at so they had that back. Yeah.
They had that back in there. And so, of course, everybody's taking their pictures. Well, Chris and I took our pictures and we were just acting silly or whatever in there. And that's actually the picture that Chris put on our cards for our
the logo of our podcast of Gina and I waving.
We're in that.
Is us in that the picture we took when we were in that display. Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's exciting news. So, Claire, how do you one up like you said, how was your day? Like what if when he says how was your day? What you say? Well, I know Vinny.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. That's it. That's my ace in the hole right there. That's it. That's all I got.
When Claire talks to people and says, I know Vinny, their jaws drop and they're in awe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Even being at that point, being a rocket scientist, it's either equal or even not as high.
Oh, listen to you. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
No.
What so regardless of which one of the three, like what would you guys say was your most epic trip so far?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's it. David's a mountain biker, and he got into the Leadville 100 out in Leadville, Colorado. And, the altitude is kind of extreme. And so you either need to get there right before the race, or you need to get out there several weeks ahead of time to be able to acclimatize. And so he asked his bosses if we could go. And we spent 8 weeks, started in Utah. We hit the big 5 national parks. We just spent time up in Colorado. And then we went to Leadville, and David did that mountain bike race. And it was an epic trip. And something that, it was everything. It was everything in a nutshell that we ever hoped that we could experience as Airstreamers. It was community, it was travel, it was ease of travel, it was spontaneity, it was beauty, it was epic.
Yeah, it
sounds like it. Yeah. Well, you've got the landscape, of course, but then you've got that time that y'all are spending together, away from, family and friends and real life.
Yeah. And which rig were you in with that?
The 22.
Caravel.
22 Caravel.
Yeah.
That's good. And
And it worked out great. I never once felt like we were cramped or anything like that. It was a great rig.
What about, are you set up to boondock and camp off grid stuff? Did you do any of that, or were you in campgrounds?
We did a little bit. The days kind of leading up to the race, one of the local colleges actually if you had an RV, you could actually pull into they basically had a service road, and you could basically park there for a couple of days before the race, and it was literally like a 5-minute ride to the start line. So we did that, took advantage of that in a couple of days before the race, and that was totally, no hookups, no anything. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, the terrain you're talking about you were in is just so conducive for getting off and disappearing sometimes, and just kind of being, especially with a smaller Airstream and so forth, you can just kind of, if you're set up to dry camp, those are the kind of areas of the country to do it in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
we've got some friends that live kind of outside of Leadville. They've got 35 acres up on basically up 10,000 feet on the side of a mountain.
Wow.
And they said, oh yeah, hey, if you want to come camp, just, pull your rig up there and park, and you can stay as long as you want. So we took them up on it. Didn't realize that the gravel dirt road up to their property hit 17% grade at one point. So that was kind of an interesting place to camp, but it was absolutely beautiful. We were up there, nobody around, no light pollution. You could see stars that you couldn't see anywhere else.
Wow.
Off in the distance, we could see Pikes Peak. I think the week after we left, their game camera caught a bear and an elk coming through there.
Wow.
That's
unbelievable.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
We have yet to take our Airstream to Colorado, and we hope to do that this summer on our way to North Dakota for international.
Yes.
Nice.
We felt like we needed a new truck before we ventured into some of those mountain travel
something
areas.
To get that bicyclist would not pass us going up the mountain. Because that's happened before. So we're like, okay, we need a new truck before we go to Colorado.
Yeah. How did you, Dave, haul your mountain bike for a trip like that? How do you haul bikes?
So I actually built a custom rack for the bed of the truck. I think I'm on version 3 now. The first one was built, I think, when we had just a GMC Sierra that we pulled the base camp with, and now we're up to an F250 Tremor to pull the last 2 trailers with. So I just built a rack that's a fork mount rack. I can hold 3 bikes on it. Put that in the bed of the truck. And when we take long trips like that, I've got a soft topper that can go over the bed of the truck to kind of protect everything in there from rain and everything. And I've built the bike rack such that it really only takes up about half of the bed. So we still have a lot of space back there. If we want to haul a generator or haul extra water cans, stuff like that.
That's
How
cool.
many batteries does it take on those bikes?
Actually, the mountain bike actually takes 1, but it's not an e-bike. It's actually for the rear shifter.
Oh, it's the only kind of mountain bike I can do, babe.
That's a great question.
I can ride down the mountain. I would never get back up the next one.
We have bikes and we traveled with bikes, but we very rarely rode them.
Well, it was kind of difficult because we'd have to take everything out of the truck to get them out.
That's one reason why I ask how we did it.
Yeah, but
And that's why I'm on version 3, because version 2, I basically either to get one bike out, I might have to take out the other 2, or I might have to move something else in the bed. So this one is designed such that I can get them in and out without having to take one bike out to get another, or take anything else out of the bed to get them out.
Yeah,
right. That's nice.
Cool. We're more kayakers than we are bikers.
Yes.
We travel with kayaks.
Yeah, I like to kayak.
Yep.
A lot. I like it
Where's
on
your
rivers.
favorite place you've kayaked?
Probably the Snake River was a lot of fun, and that was in. Do you know where the Tetons is?
Jackson.
In Jackson, yeah. So it's up. We put in at the dam, and then just started paddling down. There's a couple of places that you can park your car and hitchhike up to the dam, and then just paddle down to wherever you left your car. And they do that all the time up there. That's pretty cool. And then there's some actually rougher rapids. if you go further down, but we can't do that because our boats are too long.
Okay.
We got 12-foot boats, so we can't do those big rapids with that. But
that was an awesome day. We we've did a lot of, we captured a lot of it on video and GoPro and stuff, and we're able to see some elk go across a section of the water in front of us.
we're sitting there floating and having lunch,
saw
and there they go.
eagles. Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice.
It was very nice.
And then the other fun place that we've put them is in the Pacific. And in the harbor in Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara, put in there and paddled out. Yeah.
And we paddled out a little bit. And then there was this one big buoy floating out there at the entrance to the harbor. And it was covered with all these sea lions or some
Seals
kind
out
of
there.
seal or something.
Yeah.
They were just up on the buoy and staring at us. And we could paddle within 5 feet of them.
You don't want to get too close because they can bite.
And they stunk.
And they stunk and they bark. They rah, rah.
But it was
Yeah.
we've had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we like that a lot. But I'd like to change the subject a little bit because we kind of you mentioned something at the beginning of the episode here, and I'd like to circle back around to it if you guys are okay with that. And if not, you can tell us. But whenever we were talking how you got started in Airstream, and you mentioned the tent camping and finding a tick, and that you actually had Lyme disease, Claire. Is there anything you could share with us about that?
Yeah, actually, I had Lyme, and my tick was generous. I had Lyme and Babesia. Babesia is a lot like malaria.
Oh,
it was lovely.
Yeah.
I think the hard part is that I'm immunocompromised. My white count is just chronically low. And so when I got bitten by this tick, like the vast majority of people, like more than 50% of people, they never ever see the tick on them. They get bitten and they don't feel well. They don't know what's wrong. And that was sort of my story. I started to get, like David mentioned, my joints were kind of achy. But then I started to feel really fluish, and I went to my doctor, and my blood pressure, which is always fantastic, it was like 182 over, like in the 120s.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And she said, "Okay, I think you have a virus of some sort. We're going to give you a steroid shot." And that began 6 months of the what the hell do you have? That's the only way to put it.
Did Dave not tell them?
David was telling them.
Yeah.
They weren't listening.
They weren't listening. It's kind of like,
I think there's a reason they call it practicing medicine.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I hear that.
Yeah.
it's like, and we kept saying, "I think I have Lyme. I think I have Lyme." And no one, everybody kept saying, "It doesn't present the way that you had it present. You never got the bullseye rash." And finally, the nurse practitioner in my gynecologist's office looked at me and she said, "You freaking have Lyme disease." And I was like, "You think so?" And she's like, "Well, let's make sure we get you tested." And she actually ordered the Western blot test. I had the Alyssa Lyme disease test, and it came back negative. And I've since learned that particular test is chronically inaccurate, especially if it's given to you too early. And so the nurse practitioner gave me the Western blot, and we sent it off to the IGeneX lab, which specializes in Lyme, and it came back positive.
Okay, so hold on a minute. I want to make sure if our listeners out there, if anybody has had any kind of issues or contact with a tick like this, there's more than one test you can take. And can you tell us again the names of each test?
Yeah, usually the first test that is run is called the Alyssa.
Okay.
And what it does, it's literally looking for your body's like antibody response to the tick bite.
Okay.
But for somebody like me who's immunocompromised, my body didn't manufacture any antibodies.
Okay.
The disease was literally rolling over me. The second test that you can take is called the Western blot. And the Western blot it's just a little more specialized. And it kind of gives you these bands. It breaks it down into bands. And if certain bands pop, then you'll know more accurately if you have Lyme.
Okay.
The reality is that there's so many different type of tick-borne illnesses. Lyme is just one. May is actually Lyme Awareness Month. But there are over 100 tick-borne illnesses. I had no idea. Like when I got diagnosed with Lyme, I thought, all right, well, good. Now I'll just take a couple weeks of antibiotics and be done with it.
Yeah.
That's not how it worked.
Well, I think that's kind of how everybody thinks of ticks is just Lyme disease and that's it. I'm sure there's not many people out there who would know that there's 100 of them.
Well, I know that when I was a kid, and I was around my grandparents and all the older people in my family, all I remember hearing them say is Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Spotted fever.
Yeah.
That's all I remember hearing them talk about.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was, you're saying this happened before you started Airstreaming, so 6-7 years ago, something like that?
It's actually longer than that. This actually happened in 2015.
Oh, 2015.
Oh, wow.
I was sick for a really long time. I mean, the thought of even traveling. So I was bitten in 2015. I was diagnosed in April of 2016, and it took 4 years for me to even regain my health enough to even begin thinking about traveling and getting back into the normal swing of things.
Well, what is the treatment for that though?
So here's the deal. If you catch it, like just say there's two different schools of thought. One of them is a typical, very mainstream CDC way of navigating any sort of tick bite. And they take kind of a wait and see approach, like pull the tick off and then wait and see if you get sick, wait and see if you get a bullseye rash. And I think a lot of times we're finding out that our society there's more immunocompromised people than we know. The Infectious Disease Society of America kind of says, well, okay, go ahead and take doxycycline for like a one course of it for like a day or two. And then there is something called the International Lyme and Associated Disease Society. And that's sort of the protocol that I was treated with. Because I wasn't diagnosed for 6 months, goodness gracious, I was on, and I had Lyme and Babesia. I was on different courses of antibiotics and an anti-malarial for about 6 months.
Wow.
Man. The medicine itself had to make you feel terrible.
Yeah, I pretty much felt.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't on enough medications that we had to come up with a spreadsheet to track them all.
Yeah.
Like when you were supposed to take what and things.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
Think about how impactfully your life can be affected by something so small.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, bears, all of our years of backpacking, bears don't scare me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the things that, and I really had never given much thought to ticks. But it changed my life. By the time I was diagnosed, I was having memory issues. Like I will never forget, I was going to the grocery store and I got to the end of our street and I did not know which way to turn to go to the grocery store.
Wow. I mean, like it affects so many different things, it sounds like.
It does. Yeah. They're actually finding a lot of links between, some good research is being done between Alzheimer's and tick-borne illnesses. In fact, Chris Christopherson was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he had quit performing. And there was a big expose in Rolling Stone that was done really, really well a number of years ago. But his wife kept pressing for, this cannot be happening to my husband. And finally, she pressed for more testing and found out that he actually had Lyme disease. He didn't have Alzheimer's.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I wasn't aware of that.
Me either.
I remember the announcement of him not performing and not touring anymore, but wow. Yeah. That's crazy. And this month, or we're recording this in May, and it's Lyme Disease Awareness Month. Is that what you're saying?
It is.
Yeah. This is an opportune time.
Yes, it is. That was
Wow.
perfect timing. Yes.
So,
Well, I wasn't done.
all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, because you said that you found the tick in the tent. Well, I didn't know a tick could bite you and release and move on. I thought once a tick bit you, they were embedded there.
Yeah,
And-
my guess, Gina, is that we were in an area that was endemic for Lyme.
Okay.
And I think that's actually something that's important to get across. There are so many areas that are endemic for tick-borne illnesses. This one area that we were backpacking in, we later found out was endemic for Lyme disease. I think that there were just a lot of ticks in this area. I think I probably got bitten and never found it. They're so small. They're about the
Yeah.
size of a freckle.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Until they suck your blood and then they puff
Exact-
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
well,
Because my grandmother used to say, I'm full as a tick.
yeah, well, I
Well, and the ironic thing too is, so the common theory was that the tick had to be on you for 48 hours, something like that. And now they're since learning that as soon as that tick gets on you, once it bites you, it doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 5 hours. It can still, as soon as it bites you, it can transmit that disease.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, and when I say kid, I'm talking elementary school age or, younger, before puberty, let's just say that.
Okay.
And I mean, I grew up in the country, and I remember getting ticks in my hair.
Oh, me too.
That the way that I knew they were there is you could feel them because they were inflated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my grandmother, I'd had them all the time because we had the pine trees
Yeah.
and stuff out at the lake. And I grew up out at the lake. And every day, and I had really long, dark hair. And so every day when I came in, my grandmother would go through my hair and she'd comb it and she'd look for them. And she'd find one like behind my ear or somewhere. She'd find them and she'd go get the fingernail polish remover and fill a cap full of it up and turn it over on top of it or put a cotton ball and hold it on top of it. And she says, this will make it fall asleep. And then when it relaxed, she would pull it out and then she'd set it afire.
Yeah. You should put a match on it.
Yeah, she put a match on it. I remember that.
Yep.
And same thing with our dogs. But there's a place in Georgia that we like to go, and I'm not going to mention it because I won't scare anybody. But we like to go there and camp. And there's a trail that we'd love to go on, but it hikes up the mountain. But we've been around people who have gone up on the trail, even with their dogs, and they're coming down and they are literally raking them off of the fur of their dog, like a lot of ticks.
Oh no, we don't need to dodge saying that, Gina.
Oh, you don't?
Absolutely not.
Well,
no.
then we'll tell where it is.
At the top of Georgia RV Airstream Park.
Yeah.
in Helen.
Oh,
We camped there. We camped there once, and I saw several, and basically was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yeah.
Well,
there's a
and-
lot of ticks there.
But
yeah.
this trail that you're talking about, Gina,
Yeah.
is it exits the campground.
It does.
And it goes up the mountain to
Yes.
an overlook area.
Yes.
So it's technically not campground
it's not.
property.
No, it is not. It's private
Yeah,
property.
It's private property.
But there's a trail that goes up, and they let people walk up it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the campground.
Right.
But
And
I mean, there's all kinds of critters at top of Georgia Airstream Park. But
Well,
Yeah. I
yes,
will
but
say that area is just. There's a lot of ticks in that North Georgia area. Now, I love North Georgia.
yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
one of
beautiful.
my favorite places to go.
Yeah.
And I don't think that people should live in fear.
No.
You
Yeah,
know,
no.
like I will say I probably have a healthy case of PTSD at this point.
Oh, sure.
I do. I actually travel with 21 days of doxycycline when I know that we're going somewhere.
Wow.
It's just it's the only way that I can get back outside. And my doctor thankfully looks at me and goes, "Yeah, you've got to have your life." And so we follow the protocol that if I were to get bitten by a tick again, I would be taking 200 milligrams of doxycycline for 21 days.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not even playing.
But
I don't play.
But is there a preventative? Like, is there something we could be wearing or eating or something that would
Well, that was the question.
Like repel them?
That was the question I was going to ask when you said you weren't done, which is, it's a two-part question. One is, how do you find out the areas of the country that are prone to that?
Mm-hmm.
And then two, what have you learned from a preventative standpoint? Like, what do you do to prevent the chance of getting
bitten?
Or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Dave, I'll let Dave talk to this one.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, preventative, there's a couple things you can do. They make a bunch of products that you can actually treat your clothing with that have like permethrin in it, which is kind of a natural, I think it's from chrysanthemums. It's a natural repellent for not just ticks, but other bugs. I went to the Amazon jungle one year and treated all my clothing with that to help, against malarial mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on before you go any further. What is it called again?
Permethrin.
And
is
how do you
the
find it?
chemical. And if you like any outdoor store, probably, will sell a product that, basically you like literally like you wash your clothes with it, or you can spray your clothes or something like that. And it kind of makes your clothing repellent.
Okay.
Then things like, a bug spray that has, DEET, which kind of has, some people
bad rap.
nasty stuff and everything. But the reality is it works. So if you're going to be in an area that's endemic with ticks, you got to kind of pick your poison, right? Do you want to, have the DEET on for a little bit that you can wash off later? Or do you want Lyme disease, which could, mess up your life for, literally years? So definitely some things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and I, we do differ on this a little bit. I really hate DEET. I don't feel well when I have that on.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that can deteriorate plastics, I just like to keep off my skin. It just seems like a plan.
Gotcha.
And so I typically look for something that has like picaridin in it, which is actually made, I believe, from some sort of pepper and is a little bit more natural. I wear light colored clothing. I try to keep my pants tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
We tick check after we're out. And that is one thing that we never, ever don't do.
Yes.
And the best thing to do, like when you do find a tick, there's so many different ways and gizmos on the market, but really the best way to remove a tick is to grab it as close to the head, as close to where it's attached, and just pull with a gentle pulling, firm motion, and make sure that you get the head and the mouthpiece out of your skin, and then put it in a baggie, put it in a Ziploc baggie and keep it. Because if you do start to get sick, you want to get that tick tested to find out what it is that it was carrying.
Oh, wow. That's a good point. Yeah. Is the light colored clothing thing got to do with being able to see them easily, or is it a deterrent?
Nope.
Just be
see
able
them
to
easy. Yeah.
I will say we had, and it's shocking to me where these things show up. Like, so we have a dog, and we've always allowed our dogs to get on our furniture, and we're not those freaks. I mean, heck, the dog sleeps with us. And so like,
okay, so when you're in your rig, who does the dog sleep with, you or Dave?
The dog sleeps with me.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah.
Now, to be fair, she kind of moves back and forth a little bit because I have woken up in the morning and she's been on.
It's only because I booted her.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
but I was actually still going through Lyme disease treatment. So this was back in 2016, and I got into bed one night, and there was a tick in our bed.
Ugh.
And it was like a scene straight out of The Godfather with like a horse head, and I'm like having this absolute come apart. And Dave's like, I got this. It's okay. It's like he's talking me off the ledge. But we found one on a hand towel in our bathroom last week.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like
how does this happen?
They're just screwing with you. They are.
Well, the thing with a dog, right? I mean, most of us give our dogs, obviously heartworm preventative, but we also, at least here in the South, you've got to give them a tick.
Yeah. A tick and flea thing. Yeah.
Flea and tick medicine as well. So we almost think that like on the backpacking trip, when we saw the tick, we never saw it on Claire. We're thinking that maybe it came in on the dog into the tent. And then because the dog was on the preventative, it was like, oh, okay,
Oh.
this isn't a good place to be. So hopped off and,
Yep.
and found Claire.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have a girlfriend that, back when we had our sticks and bricks, we used to hang out together a lot. But of course, when we hit the road, we miss seeing her. But every year she has sisters that are twins, a set of twins. And the three of them would always go to the beach together every year. We're only a couple hours from the beach where we lived. And she'd come back every year. And I say, how was your trip? She says, got stung by a jellyfish. And the next year, got stung by a jellyfish. And finally, she's like, I don't know what to do. And so she went out and she got a tattoo of a jellyfish going all the way down her leg. And she's got one on her thigh and it wraps around her leg. Then she's got one on her calf and it wraps around. Now she had some varicose veins, so she actually got the tattoo to kind of hide the veins. But because she's always stung, that's what she did. Do you know that she hasn't been stung by a jellyfish since?
Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah. Claire,
she hasn't. So Claire, I think you need to get a tick tattoo.
A tick tattoo.
You know what? I'm all for the tattoos. I've got 2 of them, but I would not put a tick tattoo on. I don't know if I could stand to look in the mirror.
You'd keep trying to pick it off, wouldn't you?
Wow.
Honestly, that would just be a little much for me.
Well,
this is
There is an interesting point, though, right? I mean, a lot of us. We Airstream to go to some of these like remote places that are, kind of off the beaten path, and they're up against nature and everything. And I mean, the reality is nature's got a lot of nasty stuff out there, whether it be a tick, a jellyfish, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's a good reminder to all of us that, whenever we're Airstreaming, we kind of need to be prepared for those little, like you are your own first responder.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Whether it be, I'm slamming your thumb in the famous Airstream steps, which I've done, or, picking up a tick, or, breaking an ankle on a trail somewhere.
I think
depending on what the situation is, kind of think ahead a little bit and think, hey, if something goes wrong, especially in these national parks, right? Little to no cell service.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming to get you. You are your own rescue.
Yes.
And I think that the most common thing people just think of, like from if this were to happen, it would be really bad, is a snake bite.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, if that were to happen, that's going to be like, I know immediately that I just got bitten by a snake. But in this case, you may not know immediately that you got bitten by a tick.
Well, she didn't.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I wasn't prepared for this tonight, and I hope you were okay talking about it, because I surely think that the listener needs to hear it. And, we all need a first aid kit with us, and we all need to be prepared, whether it's in our truck or in our rig or in our backpack. But, you're right. You never know what's going to happen, and it's better to be prepared.
For sure.
So I think I want to go one step further with something that Dave said. So since Lyme and since these Lyme and Babesia, my body really, my health has not been fantastic. And we don't know, weird things happen now, and there's not ever a good reason for it. And so back Thanksgiving this past year, I had 2 small strokes. No good reason why. We think it was a virus, but again, my immune system is not fantastic. I think I just got run over by this particular virus. I had 2 small strokes. This made us really pause and consider, okay, when we travel, what are some of the things that we need to do? And I will be the first person to admit that oftentimes we were boondocking or we were pulling into an RV park. We didn't know the address.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Dave, what if we had to call 911?
Mm-hmm.
We have got to do better. Like, we've got to be better. And usually we're very, very prepared. But like that experience with those 2 TIAs kind of came out of the blue. And so, we have always done a good job with being able to, carry a first aid kit and things like that. But it's the simple things. It's knowing the location of where you are. And I want to give a plug for an app called What 3 Words. And what it does, it's a free app, and it breaks down the entire globe into a 10 by 10 square.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and it's used by first responders.
Yes.
And so just say, like Dave and I, when we were out in Utah, and we were hiking some of these slot canyons, well, there's no way to be able to say where we are.
Right.
But you know what? If we can text those 3 words, somebody can find us.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard of that
Yeah.
app. That's awesome.
I like that. Yeah.
And it works without cell service.
Yeah. It
So-
Oh,
does.
wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
No, that's wonderful. So say the name of the app again for everybody.
What 3 words?
What 3 words?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This has been an awesome conversation.
It sure has.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could have just led with this. Dave, sorry, but I think she just upped you.
Yeah, this conversation kind
Yep.
She usually does.
of one up the.
She won up the rocket scientist.
I mean, listen, we know that the guys got back safely. You know, we saw the splashdown and
Yes, we
everything.
did. Mm-hmm.
So that's no big deal. I mean, but talking about this is big stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it's one of those things that when you are experiencing, it's not even the acute, when I broke my leg mountain biking, and, you break a leg and it's one of those things where you think, well, this kind of sucks. I'm out of commission for, a good 8 weeks, but it's the chronic.
Yeah.
And you think about, okay, how do we have to change the way that we are navigating life to be able to still live our life? And that was, I think, the biggest thing that I saw Dave come alongside me with, was that I said, I don't want to sleep in the ground anymore. I don't want a backpack. I was even afraid to walk under trees for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave was all about, all right, what do we need to do to be able to continue to live our lives and do the things that we want to do?
Right.
And that is how we landed in this crazy Airstream world,
Yeah.
where I'm now working for Vinny, and we're involved with the club, and we've met so many great people. And now we're sitting here talking to you guys,
Yeah.
and you just never know. It's really that whole, goodness gracious, what seemed like such a horrible moment in time turned out to actually be one of the best things that ever happened to us.
Yes. I like that you said that,
Well,
because
very well said. Yep.
yes, it is very well said.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't thank you enough for giving us some time, and can't wait to see you in person down the road real soon one day. And are you guys going to make it up to International?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
are definitely
Oh, yeah.
going to.
Also, well,
Definitely going to be there.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
see you there, if not before.
Oh,
So,
well, hopefully before.
yeah, that might be good.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got any courtesy parking there in Huntsville or anything? Got any? Good?
We are
No, I've got a really long driveway you can back into, though,
And we
with,
have-
with 15 amp service.
50 amp service.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just
awesome.
no tornadoes at that date.
Oh yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have to. We'll do it in the fall.
Yeah.
Huntsville in the fall is
Mhm, I
nice.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? It really is. Dave is the guy to go to the Space and Rocket Center with.
Oh, I could only
Oh.
imagine. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. That'd be.
We could never leave.
Well, that's great. Well, you guys enjoy your summer travels. We'll see you up in Minot, if not before. And
Thank you so much
oh, this
for
has been wonderful.
opening
Yeah.
up and sharing your experience. That
Well, we're
I
glad
know
you
that it may not be the best conversation that you like to have, but someone out there needs to hear it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
thank you for sharing it.
Well, I'm glad to. I feel like if it can just educate a couple people. And I think
Absolutely.
the other thing is advocate for your health.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very important. I mean, you really had to advocate for yourself
Mm-hmm.
to and keep pushing on the doctors before they,
Yep. Get that diagnosis. Yeah.
eventually
Yes.
got you the right diagnosis.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, have a good one, okay?
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll see you down the road.
Thank you so much, you guys. We'll see you down the road.
All right, y'all take care.
You too.
Bye.
Whoa, Gina.
Yes. Whoa.
Amazing information tonight.
It wasn't just amazing. It was informative, entertaining, fun.
We didn't even know it was coming.
But that's how we roll, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
You never know what you're going to hear on the Riveted with Chris and Gina.
Never know.
Hey, listener, check out all of our past episodes. We're getting close to hitting 100 episodes. This is episode 90. And so we got a lot of stuff to listen to. All of them are great, amazing conversations, fun
Exciting.
conversations.
Yes.
So we're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere. I just like doing that.
Patreon, YouTube podcast.
Hey, but what else do they need to do? They need to send us a message.
Yes, we do. We want you to send us in some comments or some questions. We'll read them on the next episode recording. We'd like to start out some episodes with a few of those to engage and have that conversation. So do that. Send them to info@therivetedfox.com, and we will read them on a future episode.
Mm-hmm. We were going to read some last week, and we got sidetracked just a little bit when we got a phone call.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So we've got some to read to you maybe next week.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you on the next one, okay?
See you down the road.
We've come a long way, and I want to say goodbye because, we never say goodbye on a caravan, but we'll be seeing you down the road.